The Moving Iron Podcast is brought to you by these great sponsors. Are you looking to value your equipment more accurately, target the right buyers and close more deals, reach your ideal customer? Then look no further. Fusable isn't just about ag data, it's about action. Our best-in-class solution empowers you to value your equipment accurately, make informed decisions, and find the perfect prospects. Ignite your dealership's growth at fusable.com/movingiron-podcast. Out in the field, every decision counts. You wouldn't plant without testing your soil, so why would you prospect blind? Introducing EDA, your one-stop shop for ag equipment intel. EDA goes beyond specs and prices. You get deep dive data on every piece of equipment like UCC filings that help track ownership changes and uncover potential sales leads. D&B firmographics, which help you understand the financial health and buying power of potential customers. Market trends that help you stay ahead of the curve, and insights on equipment demands and pricings. With EDA, you're not just looking at data, you're seeing opportunity. Find the right buyer, sell smarter, and build lasting relationships. Visit edadata.com for your free demo and unlock the power of knowledge. For over 80 years, Iron Solutions has been your go-to data source for ag dealers, lenders, and manufacturers. Get powerful appraisal and value forecasting tools that fuel profitable decisions anytime, anywhere. Get your free demo at ironsolutions.com. Iron Solutions, confidence in every click. Today, there are many ways to finance ag equipment, but nobody delivers simple, fast, or flexible financing like AgDirect. Learn more about your options to buy, lease, and refinance equipment at agdirect.com. Valley Transportation has been hauling ag and construction equipment across the country for the past 33 years. Call Parker at 800-657-4910 for all your trucking needs. At Valley Transportation, our goal is to help you reach yours.
When you partner with Axon, you immediately gain access to a full range of products and solutions designed to meet the complex needs of today's grower. We carry all major brands and sizes of tires and wheels. We specialize in large diameter wheels for large equipment. We have one of the largest OEM replacement wheel inventories in North America. Known for extreme flotation setups, duals, and triples, we have wheels for all makes and models of tractors, sprayers, combines, and grain carts. If we don't have the wheel in stock, we'll custom build, sandblast, and paint in-house. There isn't a more vast inventory in North America dedicated to helping dealers move more iron. With facilities on the West Coast and in the heart of the Midwest, leverage our 230,000 square feet of indoor inventory to solve any problem a grower may have. Move more iron with Axon.
Moving iron in the 21st century. Hard-working people working hard for you and me. Moving iron time and time again. Through the years you'll find us here. Moving iron.
Moving Iron Podcast, Mark Shawn Hackett. Shawn Hackett is back and out of Boca Raton, Florida. Nice to come on and chat in the world of commodities. Shawn, how you doing, bud?
Doing pretty good. Looks like the rains down here are finally in the rearview mirror, and we can look forward to another 3 months of this. So yay to the hurricane season. Yay.
Right on, man.
15 to 20 inches in many areas, not too far away from me. So happy times.
Yeah. Well, I'm in sunny Florida myself here, Shawn, for about a week with my family and on vacation here. So I'm up here on the north in the Panhandle, up here in Panama City Beach area, and it's had a little rain shower come through here, but they're not getting the tropical rain flow we'll kind of talk about a little bit going through the southern half of Florida, like you guys got. So it's kind of like it's been a pretty rough ride. There was some pretty localized flooding and stuff like that. So let's talk a little bit about that weather pattern that's being developed right now.
Well, what looks to be developing here is we've talked about how we had these piping, scorching hot North Atlantic sea surface temperatures, which have always been the signature for a hot July in the Midwest, especially the more middle part to the eastern part of the grain belt, which we have not seen since 2010 and 2011. Those sea surface temperatures keep getting hotter. And so what it says is it sets up sort of what's called a semi-permanent high, into the center east of the country. And then all this tropical activity in the Gulf of Mexico sets up a semi-permanent low, meaning that generally speaking, we're going to have low pressure down here and we're going to have high pressure up there. And it sets up what's called a Rex block. And one can do a search and you'll get all kinds of information on what a Rex block is, but it's essentially high pressure to the north, low pressure, just into the Gulf. And it sets up this reverse S pattern that creates very, very hot, warm temperatures in the north, and obviously extremely wet temperatures in like Texas, the deep south, Florida, and sets up what we think is going to be an extremely warm July. Now, remember, when you have a very active tropical Gulf of Mexico, it's pumping all kinds of moisture in the atmosphere. So I don't want this Rex block, the way that it's structured, it doesn't mean bone dry for the north central east grain belt. It means you're going to have some humidity. You're going to have some potential for some afternoon thunder showers, but you're going to have some very, very warm nights. That continues to be the theme that we see happening in the center east of the grain belt. Already, if you look at the next 15 days, all those days are 72 degrees or higher in Des Moines, Iowa, for example, which is a reference point we like to follow. Now, that warm nights isn't an issue yet. It's an issue when we start tasseling, when we start pollinating, which we're going to start to do here very shortly. But it sets the template for what we think is going to be. Normally, you don't start getting warm nights until July because that's the hottest month of the year. And so the fact that we're already able to get them here in the back half of June is telling you how hot it is. In fact, it could be a record hot back half of June, and sets the stage for this very warm night scenario for the east. Conversely, on the Pacific Ocean, we got a record negative Pacific decadal oscillation of all time. That since we've been measuring this, and the negative, we've had a lot of negative PDOs. That's not unusual. The last 3 or 4 years, we've had a ton of negative PDOs. PDOs create the high pressure out west, and we know we've had all kinds of drought out west for many years. That's not been the issue. The issue is we can't get the heat over to the east. So what I see is your garden variety, hot daytime temperature, dry weather, center west, center northwest. But the difference is instead of having normal to cooler than normal wet weather out east, it's going to be hot, humid weather, which brings in the warm nights. That combination means instead of getting your 173, 175 corn yield, slightly below trend, this could push the corn yield average nationwide, well below 170. And that you start working the numbers, Casey, lower acres, lower ending stocks from last year, we think, better exports we're starting to see. You start writing the balance sheet and we kind of run out of corn pretty quick. So that's the scenario. The only way you're going to get the national average to come down is you got to get that center eastern grain belt yield off the top, because that's where they grow those 300 bushel, 250 bushel corn acres. And it doesn't have to come off by much, by the way. If it's supposed to be 250 and it's 200, that's all you need to bring the national average down if the West is hot and dry. So that's the scenario. It looks like we're verifying it now. We're getting everything, set up. We're seeing the heat coming in. We're seeing the Rex block coming in. Global annual momentum negative. Everything is setting itself up, for our long-standing forecast that we made 9 months ago, and then we've been updating 6 months ago and 3 months ago, and it appears to be happening exactly as we've been suggesting. And the market typically, when you start off good, but you have a bad middle of the growing season, those rallies tend, instead of topping in late June, they just bottom in late June, and we start to turn up in late June, and we top out in mid-August. So everyone looking for the typical mid-late June selling opportunity for farmers, producers, that's not going to happen this year. We're not getting it this year. We had that first high in the middle of the spring, and we're going to get our next selling opportunity if this plays out, late July into mid-August. So that window of selling opportunity is going to be about 30 days delayed, give or take, from what people are normally expecting to do. And this has gotten everyone's marketing plan upside down. Everyone didn't sell this. Many didn't sell the spring highs thinking they were going to get a better opportunity in June. Now they're not getting that opportunity. They're selling now. It's they're off sides. And we, as you know, Casey, we had advocated strongly making cash sales in the spring, and we're looking for hopefully what we think could be a higher priced opportunity here late July and August, and could be considerably higher depending on exactly how this pattern plays out. But from what we see, finally, Center East grain belt going to get the heat, and that really changes the rules of engagement of how our crop yields could turn out for corn, and if it carries off into August, soybeans as well. We haven't had a hot first half of August either in a very, very long time. So this is uncharted waters, Casey, that might significantly change the dynamics of how crop yields have been playing out. And we'll see. But so far we are, look for this heat. It's going to be all over the headlines here pretty shortly. It's going to be pretty extreme heat coming in Center East grain belt.
Yeah. So the Fed had a meeting. You talked a little bit about exports there in the beginning of your answer your last question. The Fed had a meeting. They are leaning heavily towards maybe one increase or one decrease in the interest rate. But it really feels like when you listen to what Jerome Powell says, it's probably not going to mess with rates. I guess so. As you're looking at pressure on the dollar, how's that affecting what you see there, and what do you think? What do you think exports towards the kind of throughout the end of the year?
It seems to me that so long as the stock market's not crashing, and so long as the economy, at least the reported economic numbers, we can argue there's problems in certain areas, but the reported numbers are showing at least an economy that's muddling along. I think the biggest concern that the current administration has about getting reelected is keeping inflation down. Food inflation, energy inflation, keeping inflation down. So long as the economy is not at risk of really caving in, which would be a worse situation for them, I think they're okay with the Federal Reserve keeping rates higher, keeping pressure on commodity inflation, on food prices, on energy prices. The dollar had a strong rally on this announcement that the Fed made that they really doesn't look like they're going to do too much, or at least they're not planning on it. And I think that like I said, the administration I think is okay with it. I think they're calibrating with what they're hearing from their constituency. The number one thing they're being told is, what the hell is going on with this inflation? I go to the store, I go try to buy food, I go to a restaurant, everything I'm spending is outrageous. You got to get this inflation order, and I think they're scared to death of having the Fed lower rates and seeing inflation take off again as we move into the election. So I think this is the game plan that the administration wants. And, as we've said all along, Federal Reserve chairman is there at the pleasure of the president, and he kind of needs to toe the line that the administration wants within a certain degree. And I think that's the strategy. What does that mean for exports? I don't think it means a dollar that goes crazy to the upside, but it also means that the dollar may not weaken too much unless there's a significant change in the economic. Now, we did see the inflation numbers this week much lower than expected, so the inflation is definitely coming down. I think exports are going to be all driven by U.S. weather, meaning if the buyers are feeling that the U.S. crop's going to be short, it doesn't matter what the dollar is. I mean, we've been sort of dealing with this dollar in this 103 to 106 level now for the better part of 6 months. So the dollar is just sort of going sideways. So what's going to make them either buy more or not buy more is their view of, do we have a lot to sell or we have less to sell? We already know Brazil has less to sell, especially for corn. So I think weather is going to drive decisions, export decisions. And if we have this hot July and August weather pattern, and it looks like crop production is going to be off, I think demand's going to be very, very strong compared to what it was last year. And, last year it was pretty dreadful. Our exports were really, really low. So it's not like we're, we have a it's not like it's going to be hard to outdo last year's low numbers, but I do think we can see stronger exports despite a dollar maybe being stubbornly strong here.
All right, Shawn, good place to stop. Folks want to reach out to you and get more information about what you're doing over at Hackett Finance. What's the best way to do that?
We have a Twitter page at Faradix11. LinkedIn page. We have a website, Hackett Advisors, HACKETT advisors.com. From time to time, we put information on there on whether it's articles on Bar Chart or interviews with you or market to market or just some comments to let people know how our statistics, correlations, and cycles are playing out and to see if that information might be of value to those watching your show.
So Shawn and I were supposed to have done the live interview about the weather patterns that you see developing earlier this week, and my schedule just was not going to allow for that. So we have rescheduled that to the week of the 24th, and we're trying to figure out what day will work best in for us and what that looks like. So stay tuned for that, and we'll get that rescheduled and get that out there. So Shawn, appreciate it.
No problem, Casey, and enjoy your vacation, and enjoy your family, and enjoy dry Panhandle, Florida.
Right on, man. Well, Shawn, appreciate you being on the podcast, man.
Sounds good.
Later next week. I'm Casey Seymour, Moving Iron Podcast. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Moving Iron LLC. Go to LinkedIn at Moving Iron Podcast. Check out the YouTube channel, Moving Iron Podcast YouTube channel. And while you still can, go to TikTok, check out Moving Iron. Go to movingironllc.com for everything Moving Iron related. Get signed up for the Moving Iron Summit coming up here next the November 4th through the 6th. Check it out. With that, I'm Casey Seymour with Shawn Hackett.
The Moving Iron Podcast is brought to you by these great sponsors. Are you looking to value your equipment more accurately? Target the right buyers and close more deals? Reach your ideal customer? Then look no further. Fusable isn't just about ag data, it's about action. Our best-in-class solution empowers you to value your equipment accurately, make informed decisions, and find the perfect prospects. Ignite your dealership's growth at fusable.com/movingiron-podcast. Out in the field, every decision counts. You wouldn't plant without testing your soil, so why would you prospect blind? Introducing EDA, your one-stop shop for ag equipment intel. EDA goes beyond specs and prices. You get deep dive data on every piece of equipment like UCC filings that help track ownership changes and uncover potential sales leads. D&B firmographics, which help you understand the financial health and buying power of potential customers. Market trends that help you stay ahead of the curve, and insights on equipment demands and pricings. With EDA, you're not just looking at data, you're seeing opportunity. Find the right buyer, sell smarter, and build lasting relationships. Visit edadata.com for your free demo and unlock the power of knowledge. For over 80 years, Iron Solutions has been your go-to data source for ag dealers, lenders, and manufacturers. Get powerful appraisal and value forecasting tools that fuel profitable decisions anytime, anywhere. Get your free demo at ironsolutions.com. Iron Solutions, confidence in every click. Today, there are many ways to finance ag equipment, but nobody delivers simple, fast, or flexible financing like AgDirect. Learn more about your options to buy, lease, and refinance equipment at agdirect.com. Valley Transportation has been hauling ag and construction equipment across the country for the past 33 years. Call Parker at 800-657-4910 for all your trucking needs. At Valley Transportation, our goal is to help you reach yours. This podcast is proudly provided by Axon, helping dealers move more iron for the past 100 years. Find out more at axontire.com. Move more iron with Axon.
Moving iron in the 21st century.